Hey sassy lady, this is Matri, एक social media marketer, एक mother and a simple yet sassy woman just like you. ये है Little Fixes podcast, आपकी evergreen audio lifestyle magazine. यहाँ मैं और मेरे guest शेयर करते हैं sweet, simple and practical ideas to help you in improving every aspect of your life. Career, fitness, mental health and personal growth are just some of the topics we cover. This podcast is like the real talk you have with your real friends. So continue what you're doing and keep listening. Hello sassy lady. Thank you for joining me today. Tuesday 8 March को International Women's Day है और इस बार की थीम है Break the Bias. It talks about gender bias and how we can take steps towards gender equality. Last year also the theme was very similar and I did a montage kind of episode where some power women shared their thoughts on creating a gender equal world. I will link it in the description and in show notes. और आज का एपिसोड भी Women's Day स्पेशल है, but we are not talking about gender bias today. Today's episode is about finding fulfillment as women. कई बार लाइफ में सब ठीक होते हुए भी एक एम्प्टीनेस फील होती है, गिल्ट और फ्रस्ट्रेशन भी फील हो सकता है छोटी छोटी चीजों पे. ये फीलिंग हमारे लिए बिल्कुल अच्छी नहीं है और फुलफिल फील करना काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो हर किसी को फुलफिलमेंट की फीलिंग अलग चीज से आती है, पर ये फीलिंग बड़ी इल्यूसिव होती है. इसलिए आज मैंने इनवाइट किया है सोलफुल प्रोडक्टिविटी एंड बिजनेस कोच अमृता राम को. वो बताएंगी कि फुलफिलमेंट वाली फीलिंग आखिर होती क्या है, व्हाई इज इट एसेंशियल, हाउ इट कैन चेंज आवर लाइव्स एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंटली हाउ टू गेट देयर. सो लेट्स वेलकम हर. हाय अमृता, आई एम thrilled to have you on Little Fixes.
Hi, Maitri. It's such an honor, and I'm so grateful to be here.
So am I, because I reached out to you and you scheduled it in a very short notice. So we are still away from Women's Day, but I'm happy that we are doing it today. So
Absolutely.
Amrita,
And sorry to interrupt you, but I think in my world, I believe every day is a Women's Day.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I love celebrating the spirit of just being a woman, the spirit of having this beautiful sense of feminine wisdom in us every single day with, my tribe.
Yes. That's why I find you very inspiring also, like the way you share, the way you smile, like I just love looking at your Instagram page also.
Thank you so much.
तो अमृता, आपसे बहुत सारी बातें करेंगे फुलफिलमेंट के बारे में, लाइफ में कैसे सैटिस्फाइड ज्यादा फील कर सकते हैं हम. बट उससे पहले हम जानना चाहेंगे आपके बारे में कि आप ये बिजनेस कोच कैसे बनी. क्या आपने पढ़ाई करी थी पहले से ही कि बचपन से आपने सोच लिया था नहीं मुझे बिजनेस कोच बनना है, या फिर मतलब क्या थे आप और कहाँ से कहाँ आपकी जर्नी, हमें थोड़ी सी बताइए.
All right. So my entrepreneurship journey truly is inspired by my papa and my little boy who's now 9 years old. So my dad was always an entrepreneur, and I've seen him, at his lows and at his highs, and all throughout I've seen this beautiful sense of determination, joy, and satisfaction in him that I feel comes from, cultivating your own business. And that has really inspired me always. And our family is full of entrepreneurs, and I think somewhere it runs in the family, right? So बचपन से ये ख्वाब कहीं ना कहीं था कि कुछ करना है खुद के लिए. So it's always been a part of me. And I'm a science graduate. I did my biotech, and then I did my postgrad in cosmetology and entrepreneurship. And then I was trying to build a usual roadmap कि a corporate job ले लेंगे. So I worked in a corporate setup for about 7 years. And कहीं ना कहीं वो 7 साल में, there was something like a little part of me which always kept saying that, Amu, you're meant for more. Like something within me, kept tingling. Like, Amrita, you're meant for more. You're meant for more. This is not it. And I was like, wow, then, if this is not it, then what is it? And, very soon I became a mom, and I was like, maybe I can do something in the early learning, segment, because I absolutely enjoyed my initial years of, parenting. And I kept following my lead. I kept following my heart, little by little. I started building things over the weekend. I started with a YouTube channel, which then, organically grew. Then I started my Facebook group, which now has about 40,000 members. Again, like it the growth was very organic. I started a toy brand, which, again, received an amazing response. And even then, like that little tingling was there. Ki Amrita, you're meant for even something bigger. Like that little sensation kept like tingling me. And I was like, okay, abhi itna sab to acha ho raha hai, aur kya? And that's when I decided that I want to do something for the moms, because by then I'd built a huge community, and a lot of them used to, approach me ki, Amrita, how to like, start your business, how to feel more happy, feel more grounded, feel more fulfilled as a mom. Then I started, my coaching business, and that's what I am now, like, full time as a business coach and as an inner growth soulful coach for mothers.
Okay, so first you did a job, a corporate job, then you grew your own business, and now you help other women in growing their businesses.
Absolutely, yes. And I feel like somewhere God chose me to do this, because it was not a planned journey at all.
हाँ, मुझे लगता है कि अनप्लान्ड चीजें जो होती हैं वो बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग होती हैं, और वो हमें ज्यादा फुलफिल्ड फील कराती है, जिस बारे में हम आज बात भी करने वाले हैं। और कोई ना कोई प्लान होता है जो अपने आप होता चला जाता है। आई थिंक व्हेन वी लुक बैक एट आवर लाइव्स तब रियलाइज होता है कि हाँ, ये तो हो रहा था, बट वी डिडंट नो कि यही हो रहा है, राइट?
Right.
Okay. So now you are working as a business coach, and it makes you it makes you feel fulfilled. तो अमृता, आप हमें ये बताओ कि what exactly does fulfillment feel like? कहना बहुत आसान है कि I'm very satisfied in my life with my job, like whatever. But fulfillment का exactly मतलब क्या है? कैसे हमें पता चलेगा कि हाँ, now we are feeling that feeling?
And such an interesting question, Maitri. And honestly, like as I'm reflecting on it, I feel fulfillment is not really a destination that you want to achieve or reach somewhere, right? I feel the fulfillment lies in that everyday messiness of your journey. And, for me, that comes from just being grateful for what I am in the now, and having the sense of wisdom that there's always going to be this duality in life, where not all the cards are going to be correctly placed. Not all the ducks are going to be in a perfect row. The life is never going to be perfect. It's always going to be messy. It's going to have ups and downs like a beautiful ocean. And still, amidst all this, how can you find that joy, that sense of gratitude, that sense of bliss? I feel that's what fulfillment is for me. It's not about life being perfect, but it's just, having this deep gratitude and reverence, especially towards my work, towards my child, towards the community that I'm building. Having that deep reverence, I feel that gives me that infinite sense of fulfillment.
अच्छा, तो आपने ऐसा बोला ना, तो मुझे फीलिंग आ रही है जैसे लाइक फाइंडिंग मैजिक इन द मेस। मतलब मेस तो हमेशा ही
Oh
रहेगा,
my
बट
God.
इट्स अप टू यू कि आप कहाँ देख रहे हो।
Absolutely. And I feel oftentimes, Maitri, the best messages of our life comes from our mess. And yeah, I feel ki, when we start walking and sitting and running with our discomfort, I feel magic happens.
Yeah, and I think I needed to hear this. Like, I have been so much in confusion कि करना क्या है। मतलब जनवरी से फरवरी तक आई एम फीलिंग बेटर, बट इतना ज्यादा
Right.
कंफ्यूजन है लाइफ में, कहते हैं इसको, वो हो रहा है मेरे साथ। तो व्हेन यू से ना कि मेस में ही आपको अपनी ब्लिस ढूंढनी है, तो
बराबर है।
इट रिंग्स अ बेल कि हाँ भाई, तुम्हें भी ये करना है। तो ये जो फुलफिलमेंट वाली फीलिंग है, ये इतनी इम्पोर्टेंट क्यों है एक हैप्पी लाइफ के लिए? व्हाई इज इट एसेंशियल टू फील फुलफिल्ड?
I feel ki, if your life does not evoke that sense of ki, like, it's such a blessing to be alive. If it does not evoke that sense of, yaar, ek life hai, like ek zindagi hai, and I just want to like just live it the way I want to, like give it my best shot. If our life does not evoke all these kinds of feelings within us, and I feel ki somewhere like, you know, एक ऐसा वो unsatisfied सा, you know, it gives you that unsatisfied feeling somewhere, right? If you're not like doing things for yourself. And I get this a lot from my mentees and clients कि, you know, Amrita, सब कुछ मैं कर रही हूँ ना. I'm like, you know, doing things for my children, I'm doing things for home, I'm doing things for my family, my partner. You know, सबके लिए मैं सब कुछ कर रही हूँ, but what am I doing for myself? And I think oftentimes for women, that kind of leaves, you know, somewhere that void, somewhere that feeling ki I want something more. Like I want to do something for myself.
Yes.
And I feel tapping into that feeling is so important. And I feel fulfillment is so much about that. Like, what are you doing for yourself? Where are you standing up for yourself, for your dreams, for your desires? Because one life, you know, and like what kind of legacy are we really leaving behind?
या एग्जैक्टली. तो जो फुलफिलमेंट वाली फीलिंग है वो थोड़ी सी जैसे मैंने बोला था इल्यूसिव होती है, और अगर वो नहीं होती है तो वी फील एम्प्टी इनसाइड. और
Yeah, yeah.
उसको और मुझे ये भी लगता है कि कोई जरूरी नहीं है कि किसी को जॉब करने से आ रही हो फीलिंग, या फिर किसी को घर पे रहने से आ रही है. अलग अलग लोगों को अलग अलग चीजों से आती है. हम ये नहीं कह सकते कि ओ शी इज इन अ वेरी हाई प्रोफाइल जॉब, इसका मतलब शी इज वेरी फुलफिल्ड. हो सकता है उसके घर पे कोई ऐसी
Absolutely.
सिचुएशन हो कि शी इज नॉट फीलिंग ग्रेट अबाउट इट. तो मतलब हर चीज को शायद हम जो कंपैरिजन वाली एक चीज होती है उससे अलग निकल के देखें तो वी कैन गेट मोर ऑफ अ पर्सपेक्टिव अबाउट आवर लाइव्स. कि हम लोग जो कंपैरिजन
Absolutely.
वाली जगह आ जाते हैं उसकी जगह ऐसे देखें कि हाँ मतलब सबके पास सब कुछ नहीं होता है, बट जैसे कि आपने बोला कि हाउ यू फाइंड ब्लिस इन मेस, वो इम्पोर्टेंट है.
Yeah,
तो ये जो फीलिंग है
totally.
फुलफिलमेंट वाली, like I'm loving saying this fulfillment वाली feeling, I don't know why. how it changes us, like what impact can it make in our lives?
Such a beautiful question. And I would love to talk a little bit about comparison, जो आपने बोला. And I feel
sure.
comparison is a thief of joy. है ना कि मतलब I know कि, you know, बहुत बार we tend to compare ourselves, and social media is like a big, you know, place where we tend to kind of benchmark it for a lot of things. And I strongly believe that, and I, you know, this is something that we keep talking inside a lot of my coaching calls also, that we are in this Aquarian age, which is all about this, you know, Maitri, beautiful collective consciousness. Like it's a little bit of a heavy concept, but just give me a minute here. So this Aquarian age is for, you know, us women to come together, to rise together, where there's no comparison, there's no competition. All that we truly need to do for the world to heal, for the world to get better, is to lift each other, to collaborate, to co-create. And when we, you know, shift our mindset from that comparison and competitiveness to co-creation, like magic happens. And I think with that, you also get this beautiful sense of fulfillment.
Yes, so you use the word Aquarian age, जो मुझे बिल्कुल समझ में नहीं आया, but I would like to know.
So it's basically, you know, in the cosmic spiritual world, there are like different ages, right? So before this, there was something called as a Piscean age, which was all about solo leadership. Like मैं खुद सब करूंगी, मैं ये भी करूंगी, मैं वो भी करूंगी. I'm on my own. I want to do things on my own. That's about it. You know, that was a Piscean age, like very assertive age. Then the next stage in the cosmic world is the Aquarian age, the age we are in right now, where it's all about being together, doing things together, especially as women. So yeah, that's what. And if you see like energetically also, you will see that the online communities where, you know, women are working together are thriving so beautifully.
Yes.
Like it's no more an age where, you know, who is getting how many likes and what am I doing and what is she doing. It's about we all can grow together. We can all fix each other's crown. You know, it's that age. And I feel when we really shift into this beautiful mindset, that fulfillment is going to come on its own. because you're not just thinking about yourself. Like they say that the joy kind of multiplies when you share it with others, when you do things for others. And I feel fulfillment is also so much about that. And I've seen that firsthand inside my community also. Like, when I'm like, selflessly serving, when I'm like sending gifts to my mentees and my community, the sense of satisfaction and the fulfillment that I get is like, it's beyond words.
Yeah, I think you should write a book. ऐसा जितना अच्छा
Oh
you
my
are
God.
speaking, you should write a book and then I will read it again and again कि हाँ
Oh,
sir ने
that's so sweet
कुछ
of
अच्छा
you.
सा
That's
बोला है.
actually one
हम्म.
of my intention for 2022. और
Wow.
चलो आप भी बोल रहे हो तो universe probably is listening and definitely manifest हो ही जाएगा.
Yes, obviously. हाँ, तो अब हम बात कर सकते हैं. I believe कि how this feeling of fulfillment can change our lives.
Right. Wow. So I think I've kind of like partly answered it.
Yeah.
And just to expand it further, I feel when you walk into your life with a sense of fulfillment, like, it somewhere feels like this, like a beautiful soul magic happening inside your heart when you have that sense of fulfillment, where you're feeling ki, like, and you won't get that feeling in all areas of your life. Life is like going to have its ups and downs. So maybe you're feeling fulfilled in your home, but probably not so much at your work. And you know what? That's fine. And that's the polarity which we as wise, strong, level headed women can hold, where it's not either this or that. It can be the case where one area of your life may feel unfulfilled, and that is okay, while the other area is really feeling very fulfilled. So walking with this duality is so important. Sorry, I'm like going off track, but I thought this is important for me to put across, because we kind of always chase that everything has to be perfect, but probably not.
Yeah, we are always looking at कि क्या गलत है, अच्छी चीजों को
बराबर
नहीं
है.
नोटिस करते हैं ना. Right. So
Right.
ये जो fulfillment है, क्या ये is it something like achievement or is it different?
I definitely feel that it's not an achievement. It's not a trophy to be earned. It's not like a destination to be reached, as we said at the very start of our conversation here. I feel it's a journey that has to be experienced till our last breath, and it is a journey of learning, unlearning, and your self evolution. Your own self awakening somewhere. It's all about that. It's this beautiful mishmash of a lot of things together. And I mean, if we look at it as an achievement, फिर वो तो एक टारगेट बन जाता है, राइट? कि मुझे फुलफिलमेंट को अचीव करना है, तो ये तो मेरा गोल है, ये मेरा टारगेट है, ये मेरा टू डू लिस्ट है. And what happens with that, sense of like target, या to do list, it brings about this very masculine energy, which is, I'm not saying masculine energy is bad. It's a very good energy to have inside your life, inside your career. But with that, what happens is like, it becomes like, मुझे ये करना ही है. And then एक ऐसा, it becomes like a struggling energy somewhere कि, मुझे कैसे भी करके उसको achieve करना है. Whereas I feel fulfillment is a very feminine energy. And probably we can do another podcast where I can talk a little more about what is masculine energy and what is feminine energy. But I feel fulfillment is like this beautiful, flowy feminine energy. And feminine energy is all about that ease and flow that you sometimes experience in life. Like, say you love doing something. So Maitri, let me ask you, like, what is one thing that you absolutely love doing in your life?
I love, talking. जैसे मैं अभी आपसे बात कर रही हूँ, I really enjoy, like, I lose sense of time.
And I can see that. I can feel that. Like, you're so good at it, Maitri. So, jab aap, like, when you're doing this, when you're talking, you kind of lose, as you said, the sense of time, and you are in this state of flow, right? And that's your feminine energy at play here, where, she's leading you. And, she's anchoring you. And I feel fulfillment is so much about that. This experience that you experience, this feeling that you feel where the time, seems to have stopped.
Mm-hmm.
It's that kind of beautiful feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I don't think it can be like something like a trophy or an achievement. It's something that you cultivate and feel every single day.
Mm-hmm. Yes. ओके, तो जैसे आपने मुझसे पूछा कि क्या चीज आपको अच्छी लगती है ना, तो वैसे ही लाइक थोड़ा इन चीजों के लिए आई थिंक हम इतना कॉन्शियस नहीं होते. आपने मुझसे पूछा तो मैंने थोड़ा सा सोचा, मुझे 2-3 चीजें आई, मतलब इट वाज आई
Hmm.
रिस्पोंडेड वेरी क्विकली, बट उस उतनी देर में भी
Yeah.
मेरे पास कुछ चीजें आ गई थी कि ये या फिर ये. तो
Right.
हाउ टू फाइंड आउट व्हाट मेक्स अस फील फुलफिल्ड. आई एम श्योर कि हर किसी के लिए शायद ये इतना क्विक भी नहीं होगा कि अगर किसी से पूछ लिया जाए आप
Right.
क्या करना चाहते हो, जैसे नहीं क्वेश्चन पूछ
Hmm.
लेते हैं कि इफ यू डिडंट हैव टू थिंक अबाउट मनी तो फिर आप क्या करोगे
Right.
लाइफ में. तो इट इज सच अ
Right.
डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन टू आंसर. तो व्हाट डू यू थिंक, लाइक हाउ डू यू थिंक वी कैन फाइंड आउट कि हाँ भाई हमें इससे फुलफिल फील होता है.
Right. I feel life is a journey of trial and error. And that's what my business has taught me. Like, हमें एक manual तो मिलता नहीं है कि अरे वाह अभी आए हो on the earth. This is your manual. This is how you have to lead our life. हमें खुद को ही अपना manual बनाना है. We have to find our own paths, and a lot of those roads and paths are going to probably be wrong paths, but it's so important to kind of travel on those wrong roads because they are going to lead you onto the right ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen that inside my life, inside my business. And I feel it's so important to kind of make those mistakes because they become like the stepping stone towards your journey ahead. And I feel fulfillment is so much about that. You have to keep finding and keep exploring and doing this beautiful mishmash and this dance between the trial and the error to figure out who you are, what you truly truly enjoy doing, what really lights you up. This is one sentence that I always keep talking about even on my Instagram, like doing what lights you up. And you cannot get this from a book or from a podcast. You have to find it within yourself, internally.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that's the journey of self discovery and finding that for yourself. Ki, what is really fulfilling you? What's really lighting you up? What is something that, as you said, you'll do, even with or without money?
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I feel it's such a fun spiritual journey of its own.
या तो जैसे आपने बोला कि लुक इनसाइड योरसेल्फ टू फाइंड आउट.
Hmm.
तो एक्चुअली कल मैं किसी से सेम यही चीज बोल भी रही थी. मैं उनसे पूछ रही थी कि समवन माय फ्रेंड सजेस्टेड कि मैत्री लुक इनसाइड, लाइक आई लुक्ड इनसाइड माय सेल्फ एंड आई फाउंड आउट व्हाट वाज
Yeah.
मिसिंग एंड आई वर्क टुवर्ड्स इट. तो
Right.
आई वाज टॉकिंग टू हिम एंड आई टोल्ड हिम कि मेरी फ्रेंड ने ऐसा ऐसा किया, शी लुक्ड इनसाइड हरसेल्फ और उसको समझ में आ गया एंड शी इज वेरी हैप्पी. अब मैं क्या करूं, हाउ डू आई लुक इनसाइड माय सेल्फ. क्योंकि मुझसे लोग कहते हैं मेडिटेशन करो, मेडिटेशन नहीं होता मुझसे, या फिर
Hmm.
शांत बैठो. मतलब मुझे कुछ समझ नहीं आया कि ये लुकिंग इनसाइड
Right.
योरसेल्फ वाला क्या है, मतलब व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज दिस.
Oh my God, I love this so much. And I would love to expand it because this is something that we keep doing a lot in my group coachings. And I feel, looking inside, as you rightfully said, is not about going on a mountaintop and meditating and finding the answers, right?
Hmm.
Sometimes looking inside can just be like, taking that nothingness break, like break from social media, constant this distracted digital age, break from all that, break from your own house and like life responsibilities, and just sitting by yourself and with your thoughts and just observing, like just being aware कि क्या चल रहा है in that monkey mind of ours. Just observing and just being aware. I think that's a good starting point without coming to any conclusion, without wanting to find any answer. Because as a human mind, we are so conditioned ki we need to know exact steps. We need to know what has to be found, like what's going to happen the next minute, what question Maitri is going to ask me after I'm done with this one. Like the mind is so conditioned ki I want to know, like even when you're doing yoga, you're in the downward facing dog. Okay, now where am I going to go in the upward facing dog? Like the mind constantly wants to know ki kya hone wala hai. So how about giving a little break to our monkey mind and just sitting and observing कि क्या हो रहा है in that nothingness break. and not judging yourself at all for all the thoughts that are coming, just being aware. I think that's a good starting point of looking within. Again, they say you have to be still to look within, and inside a lot of my women's circles that I hold, we do opposite of that. We sing, we like move our bodies through beautiful meditative music. We do a lot of these beautiful movements which invite more prana into our being, by moving, by talking, by journaling, by opening up our hearts to each other, by crying. We do all of that in our women's circles, and I feel that's such a brilliant idea and a tool to look within yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one thing that stuck out for me the most is कि go without expectations. मतलब मेरे लिए क्या है कि
Yeah.
अगर मैं बैठी हूँ 1 घंटे के लिए सब कुछ छोड़ छाड़ के, तो there has to be some answer कि हाँ ये कुछ तो समझ में आए, but you are saying कि नहीं, ये सोच के जाना ही नहीं है कि you will find कि हाँ भाई what do I want.
Yeah, and it's a good shocker to our own body mind, because we are always expecting something. So it's a good way to kind of form a new neural pathway also, of not expecting and just like sitting and seeing what's happening. That on its own is going to create a whole new beautiful neural pattern or a pathway for us.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So are there any specific ways also to feel fulfilled कि पहले आपने ढूंढा आपको क्या चाहिए, then you work towards it and then you will feel fulfilled, या फिर मतलब कोई छोटे छोटे hacks जिसे हम बोलते हैं, मतलब hacks में मुझे लगता है कि थोड़ा सा shallow term हो जाता है, but मतलब ऐसा कुछ होता है क्या कि हाँ मान लो हमने कोई छोटा step लिया, इससे हमें थोड़ा better feel होगा in our life maybe, ऐसा कुछ होता है क्या, like are there certain steps?
So I don't know if there are steps, because honestly, like I've never been like that, step 1, step 2, step 3 kind of a person myself. And, a lot of, in fact, not even a lot, all of my clients are also like me. Like they don't believe in like this very linear way of living. We all like really believe in this beautiful, flowy, cyclic way of living and cultivating life. So I feel fulfillment is also so much about that, where there's not one right thing to do, or there's not that one right step to follow. I feel it's all about, and I feel this is a quote that I've read somewhere. I'm not sure who's written it, but it says that life is not about becoming something, it's about unbecoming everything that we are not. So fulfillment is also so much about that. It's not about like racing towards something or following a step-by-step process towards something. It's, I feel, a journey of just uncovering all those layers that have been put on us by the society, by the external world, by the social media. It's all about unpeeling those layers till we find who we truly are, what's really our life purpose, and what truly gives us that beautiful, very surreal kind of joy in life. So I feel it's not about like following a step-by-step pattern or a path. It's rather the opposite. It's about taking all those steps back and unfollowing all of that, so that you reach back home to your own self. I feel that's about it.
Okay, this was really beautiful. I was listening very intently. मतलब मुझे भी थोड़ा थोड़ा मैं समझने की कोशिश कर रही थी, एंड व्हेन आई विल एडिट दिस एपिसोड तो मैं उसको फिर से सुनूंगी. आई विल टेक सम नोट्स आल्सो कि हाँ मैंने क्या सीखा अमृता से बात करके. तो अमृता जैसे आपने हमें बहुत ब्यूटीफुली बताया फुलफिलमेंट क्या होता है, एंड हाउ कैन वी टेक एटलीस्ट फर्स्ट स्टेप टुवर्ड्स इट, हाउ कैन वी लुक इनसाइड आवरसेल्व्स. तो देयर आर लॉट्स ऑफ वुमेन आउट देयर जो मे बी फ्रस्ट्रेटेड हैं, जो कंफ्यूज्ड हैं कि क्या करना है और क्यों ऐसा लग रहा है. तो इफ यू कैन गिव देम a message this women's day, or maybe for every day, what will it be? What should they always work towards, or maybe keep in mind? I don't know, मतलब should भी बहुत वैसा टर्म लगता है कई बार कि should क्या होता है, why there has to be a should. तो मतलब ऐसी कौन सी चीज है जो उनकी लाइफ को मे बी थोड़ा इम्प्रूव कर सकती है, उनके थॉट प्रोसेस को इम्प्रूव करके? Is there such a message? Yeah.
Wow. And I loved, Maitri, what you said about should, because that's like one of the things we often talk, don't create and cultivate your life around shoulds, because that's what we've been doing, right? And probably this is going to be my message, that don't do things based on the shoulds. Ki, I should be doing this because the society expects me to do this. I should be wearing this because the society expects me to wear this. I should be talking this way because that's how I've been taught to talk. I think it's about time as women to really ask ourselves who we want to be, how I want to live, how I want to dress up, how I want to talk, what do I want to do, how do I want to wake up in the morning, how do I want to curate my life on a day to day basis. I feel it's about time that we as women start asking these very simple but very, very powerful questions to ourselves. I feel that's a very, very good place for all of us to start. And no, the answers are not going to come right at that moment. And yes, even if the answers come, it will come with this sense of fear that, oh my God, this is how I want to live my life, but log kya kahenge. And being okay with that, like be so fierce and fearlessly in love with yourself that you get the sense ki, no, I want to do this for myself. Like I owe it to myself. I literally owe it to myself. I feel if we women start believing in ourselves and having that internal dialogue with ourselves, it's going to build our self-worth more and more. And it's going to make us fall deeply, truly in love with our own selves. I feel this is one message that I would really love to give to all our amazing listeners out there, that, let this be the year when you truly deeply fall in love with yourself, not in a shallow way, but in a very intense, deep way.
Wow, how awesome you are. मतलब मुझे बड़ा मजा आ रहा था सुनते हुए. I really was enjoying this and I was continuously smiling कि हाँ कितना अच्छा है. मतलब these are the things which matter, right? So अमृता, जब तक आपकी बुक आती है तब तक we would love to know कि आपकी favorite books कौन सी हैं. Like maybe you'd like to recommend a few books to women who are listening.
Oh my God. I have so many कि हम एक पूरा एपिसोड ही करेंगे उसके बारे में.
Sure, I love reading. पक्का कर सकते हैं.
So currently, I'm reading this book called The Conversations with God, and I'm loving it. I also love this book called The Women Who Run with the Wolves. It's my absolute favorite. Then there is The Prophet, which I love. There's also there are these couple of books by Rebecca Campbell, if you can get your hands on it. Light is the New Dark and Rise, Sister Rise. Those two are also absolute favorites of mine. And I also feel like, talking about books, I love to write. I love to compose poetry. And I strongly believe that each one of us has a writer within us, whether we believe it or not. It's a fact that each one of us has a beautiful writer within us. So yes, read a lot of books, but also if you can, I would gently nudge you guys to write, even if it's like just one sentence in your journal every day. And whatever comes to your mind, it may not be like this well thought of paragraph. Just write a couple of lines for yourself, not to show to anybody, but just for yourself. Sorry, I'm diverting a lot in this podcast.
No, it's okay because journal मैंने किया 20 दिन regularly किया, उसके बाद 21st day I was like आज थोड़ा time था, मैं कल कर लेंगे. फिर ऐसा करते करते ना वो थोड़ा सा छूटने लगता है. But you are saying कि it is like no pressure वाला जो side है कि आपको ये नहीं सोचना है कि हाँ कि क्या लिखे क्या नहीं लिखे. You are saying कि you can write anything what comes to your mind. कोई जरूरी नहीं है कि बहुत सोच समझ के लिखना है. आप ही का journal है, आप ही के पास है, like whatever you want. Right.
Totally.
Okay.
So, it can even be like couple of lines of poetry, or like मैं तो कभी-कभी like I will be like, tidying up my kitchen, and the brain will be like thinking, अरे, let's write 2 lines about utensils. तो मैं तो वो भी लिख दूँगी. Like you can just write anything.
Wow. Okay, wow, really. So, Amrita, it was really amazing speaking to you. And जैसे मैंने बोला, I lost sense of time, or I think it's been almost 45 minutes of our conversation, and I really enjoyed it. And I want all my listeners to enjoy your work. So, do let us know how can people connect with you?
Oh, thank you so much. This was so wonderful. And I lost the sense of time. And, you have that beautiful energy within you ki, bas like, I'm loving being in your world. And ऐसे लग रहा है कि, बस एक cafe में बैठे हैं, coffee पी रहे हैं, and like, let's just keep talking, that kind of feeling आ रही है. So yeah, for all your listeners, you guys can follow me on Instagram. My handle is Amruta_Ram. If you would love to personally reach out to me, you can also email me. My email ID is amruta@mamadiaries.com. I do have a website by the same name, mamadiaries.com. So yeah, those are a few places you can reach out to me.
Okay, so connect with Amrita on Instagram at Amrita_Ram. And Amrita, thank you so much for being here, for opening our brains a bit. Thank you so much.
Totally my pleasure. Thank you so much, Maitri.
So, don't compare, don't judge yourself. और लाइफ में फुलफिल फील करना इतना भी मुश्किल नहीं है. एंड दिस फीलिंग कैन मेक योर लाइफ अमेजिंग एंड हेल्प यू थ्राइव. अगर इस कॉन्वर्सेशन ने आपकी हेल्प की है तो प्लीज शेयर इट विद 2 people you care about और गिव at Little Fixes Podcast a shout out on Instagram. अपने पॉडकास्ट ऐप पे आप Little Fixes को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए एंड प्लीज रेट एंड रिव्यू अस देयर. तो अब मिलते हैं 20th मार्च को. तब तक के लिए लाइफ में मजे करो और सदा सैसी रहो. बाय.